Today's message is the fourth commandment. This very message that we're about to listen to right now is the fourth commandment of YAHUAH. The importance of the fourth commandment of YAHUAH in our lives today, because we're looking at the full 10 commandments. What is the importance of the 10 commandments in our life? That's what we're looking at in all this series of messages. This is a command that YAHUAH gave to me personally. YAHUAH commanded me. He said, deliver this message to the people that have not known. YAHUAH told me this. YAHUAH commanded me to deliver this message to the people that does not know the importance of the commandment of YAHUAH in his kingdom. Yahushua said, seek the kingdom of YAHUAH and his righteousness. Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. He says, seek the kingdom of YAHUAH and YAHUAH's righteousness. So when you seek the kingdom of YAHUAH, the righteousness of YAHUAH in the kingdom of YAHUAH is his commands. You cannot go to any kingdom and live on your own free will. You must follow the rules and regulations, the laws of the kingdom. And the commandment of YAHUAH is the rules and regulations that you must live by in the kingdom of YAHUAH. Because you cannot live in the kingdom of YAHUAH with any other rules and any other regulations. Never. YAHUAH has given us his 10 commandments. That these are the things that we need to look. Every other laws and regulations are imbibed inside the 10 commandments. That's what we are trying to decipher today. We need to look in the importance of the 10 commandments in our life, in this kingdom of YAHUAH that we live in. As a set apart one, what's the importance of the 10 commandments of YAHUAH in our life? That's what we're going to be looking at now. Toda Rabba YAHUAH, Ba Hasham Yahusha. The fourth commandment. Shamut is the one the evil system of this world translate to Exodus, which is Shamut chapter 20 verse 8 to 11. That's the fourth commandment of YAHUAH, the creator of life. The commandment that he has given to the set apart ones. This is it. He said, remember to observe the Shabbat Yom. Yom is what the evil system translate today that we call day today in English. He said, remember to observe the Shabbat Yom by keeping it Qadash. By keeping it set apart. Keep it set apart from the other 6 days. This is the Daba of YAHUAH that he spoke directly to the set apart ones. He said, remember to observe the Shabbat Yom, which is day, by keeping it Qadash, which is set apart, by keeping it set apart from the other days. Verse 9. Verse 9 says, you have 6 days, which is 6 Yoms each week for your ordinary work. Verse 10. But the 7th Yom is a Shabbat Yom of rest. The 7th Yom, the 7th day, the 7th day of the week, the 7th day of the week is a Sabbath Yom of rest. But the 7th Yom is a Sabbath Yom of rest dedicated to YAHUAH, your Aluah. If YAHUAH is your Aluah, you must understand this. He said, dedicated to YAHUAH, your Aluah. On the Shabbat, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, your son and daughter, your male and female servants, your livestock, and any foreigner living among you. He said, YAHUAH said, He now redirects you now to the creation. The reason why it is telling you about the Shabbat for you to set it apart. It directs you directly to the creation. He said, for in 6 Yoms, for in 6 days, YAHUAH made the Shamaim and the Arat. The Shamaim is what the evil system translate to heaven, and the Arat is what they translate to earth. He said, for in 6 Yoms, YAHUAH made the Shamaim and the Arat. The Yam is what they translate to sea, and everything in them. But on the 7th Yom, YAHUAH rested. That is why YAHUAH barak the Shabbat Yom, which is the Sabbath day, and set it apart as Qadash. YAHUAH barak the Shabbat Yom and set it apart as Qadash. Okay, let's now go back to the creation and let us understand the reason why YAHUAH barak the Shabbat day and set it apart as Qadash. Barashit is the one the Hebrew system translate to Genesis. Barashit chapter 1 verse 1 to 31. We're going to read the full account of the creation of the Shamaim and the Arat. In the beginning, Aluah, which is the Almighty One, because in the beginning, YAHUAH have not introduced his name YAHUAH to us. It's Aluah, which is the Almighty One. You know, that's what they translate to God in this their evil system Bible that they are holding today. It's the evil system Bible that concocted it and put God there. Well, anywhere you see God is Yahuwah. Yahuwah is the Almighty One that is translated to the God and Lord, to the God in this their Bible today in their hand. So anywhere you see God is the Yahuwah that they replace with their God, the evil system God. You cannot replace the truth of the Creator of life. You cannot. So when you see the one they translate to God, capital letter God, is Yahuwah that they are seeing. You are seeing there. Then the one they translate to Gods, which is the capital, the small letter Gos that they put S, is Elohim. That's what is in the original scriptures. So it's Yahuwah that is the Yahuwah is Yahuwah. Only Yahuwah is one. Yahuwah is one, and Yahuwah have His word. Like as I'm talking now, you are hearing my voice. And the Daba of Yahuwah, which is His voice, His words, that is Yahusha that became flesh, that dwelt amongst us in this Arat. Then Yahuwah, the Creator of life, have His Ruach. That's what we call the Ruach Qadash, the Ruach that set us apart, that the evil system Bible translate to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is a pagan deity from India. Holy is a pagan deity from India. Yes. So you must know this truth today if you want to be free from the deception of this world. Todaraba Yahuwah, Ba Hasham Yahusha. He said in the beginning, Yahuwah, the Almighty One, created the Shamayim and the Arat. Verse 2, he said, and the Arat, which is Arat is what they translate to earth. I said, and the Arat was without form and it was void. He said, a complete empty space. It was void. It was a complete, the Arat was a complete empty space. There's nothing on it at that time. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. The deep of the empty space. See, there was darkness upon anywhere you see deep down, you will see darkness upon on the face of the deep. And the Ruach of Yahuwah, that's the Ruach of Yahuwah. As Yahuwah have his Daba, the Ruach of Yahuwah, which is every man have his own spirit and he have his own word. Like you are hearing my voice today. My voice is part of me. Yes. He said, and the Ruach of Yahuwah moved upon the face of the waters. And Yahuwah Daba. Then Yahuwah Daba. The Ruach first of all moved upon the face of the waters. Then Yahuwah not Daba. Yahuwah, the Almighty One in full entity, not Daba is Daba. He not brought his word out. He not brought his word. He not Daba. And Yahuwah Daba. Verse 3. He said, and Yahuwah Daba, let there be light. And there was, he said, and there was light. And Yahuwah, verse 4. Verse 4 say, and Yahuwah saw that the light was Tob. Tob is what they translate to good. And Yahuwah divided the light from the darkness. Verse 5. And Yahuwah called the light Yom, which is day. And the darkness, Yahuwah called Layla, which is night. And the evening and the morning were the first Yom. The evening and the morning were the first Yom. Evening and morning. The reason why Shaul the Shaliach said, you can get angry but don't sin. Say, don't let the sun go down with your wrath. So don't let the sun enter, don't let your anger enter the next day. Because the sun is the dividing of a day and the next day. That's what we're going to see. We're going to look at it here. He said, and Yahuwah called the light Yom, day, and the darkness Yahuwah called Layla, which is night. And evening and the morning were the first Yom. This time now, there's no sun and there's no moon. Yahuwah is the creator, you understand his creation. But you have to, because you want to put man in this creation that he created, you need to give the signal for you to know that the day, the dividing of a day, from this day to the next day, you need to put the signal for us. Then verse 6, he now said, and Yahuwah Daba, let there be a firmament, which is sky, in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yahuwah made the firmament, and Yahuwah made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And Yahuwah called the firmament Shamayim, which is the sky, the up of the earth, the up of the Arat now. And I call it Shamaim. And Yahuwah called the firmament Shamaim, and the evening and the morning were the second Yom. The evening and the morning were the second Yom. Verse 9. And Yahuwah Daba again. This is another brand new day. And Yahuwah Daba, let water under the Shamaim be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Yahuwah called the dry land Arat, and the gathering together of the waters called Yam, which is seas. And Yahuwah saw that it was good. And Yahuwah Daba again, let the Arat bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the Arat. And it was so. And the Arat brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, which seed was in itself after its kind. And Yahuwah saw that it was good. Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third Yom, which is day. And the next day, now this is a fresh day, this is the fourth day now, the day 4, because the third Yom had just passed. They say, verse 13 say, and the evening and the morning were the third Yom, the third day, which is the third day. Now we have come to a brand new day. Verse 14 I say, and Yahuwah Daba, let there be light in the firmament of the Shamaim, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, for signs and for seasons, and for days and years, for signs and for seasons, and for days and years. He said, and let there be for light in the firmament of the Shamaim, to give light upon the Arat. And it was so. And Yahuwah made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the Yom, which is day, and the lesser light to rule the night, which is the Layla, which is night. Yahuwah made the stars also. He said, and Yahuwah set them in the firmament of the Shamaim, to give light upon the Arat, which they translate to earth. Verse 18. And to rule over the Yom, which they translate to day, and over the night, Layla, which they translate to night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yahuwah saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the 4th Yom. To the Rabbi Yahuwah. To the Rabbi Yahuwah. The evening and the morning was the 4th Yom. So Yahuwah created the lights, the sun and the moon in the 4th day of creation. The 4th day of creation, that's when Yahuwah created the sun and the moon, to be a sign for man, for the creation, for the things that Yahuwah created. Like all the animals, they know all the signs. They know the dividing of day. They know the animals and the things that Yahuwah created in the bush and the waters. They know all the signs. They know the dividing of day, and they know the dividing from day to night, that it's not in the midnight. Ashatana come that is in the midnight, from instead of sun, the sun sets. When the sun has set, that's the new day. The day has ended and a brand new day has started. That's why it's the evening and the morning. And Yahuwah Daba, let the water bring forth abundance, the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the Arat in the open firmament of the Shamaim. And Yahuwah created great ways, and every living creature that moveth, which the water brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after its kind. And Yahuwah saw that it was good, which is Tob. Tob is what they translate to good. It was Tob. Verse 22, and Yahuwah barak them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the Yam, which they translate to sea, and let the fowl multiply in the Arat, which they translate to earth. Verse 23, And the evening and the morning were the sixth yom, sixth day. The evening and the morning were the sixth day. So a full day starts from the evening when the sun sets, like your day now, like where you are now. If it is a daytime, if the sun is there, as the sun sets, that's the end of a day and the beginning of a new day have started. Then to the next sun rise again and set again, the day has ended and start again another fresh day. So that's how Yahuwah programmed the Arat and the Shamayim. He said, and the evening and the morning were the fifth yom. And Aluah Daba, let the Arat bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the Arat after his kind. And it was so. And Aluah Daba, and Aluah made the beasts of the Arat after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the Arat after his kind. And Aluah saw that it was tube. Tube is what they translate to good. And Aluah Daba, let us make man in our image and our likeness. Now it's time for Yahuwah to make man now. You know, Yahuwah is a complete. Yahuwah's voice, his talk, his word that he used in dabbering. Yahuwah Daba, Yahuwah Daba, Yahuwah Daba. And the Ruach Qadash that brews around the water in the beginning, when Yahuwah was creating the Shamayim and the Arat, the Ruach Qadash that brewed, that went round. Let's see it for ourselves. Verse 2. And the Arat was without form and void, and the Arat was without form and it was void, a complete empty space, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Ruach of Aluah moved upon the face of the waters. The Ruach and the Daba. The Ruach and the Daba. That is Yahuwah's spirit and Yahuwah's word. Ruach is what they translate to spirit in English language that everybody calls spirit. And that Daba is Yahuwah's talking. Yahuwah Daba, he talked them out. Everything Yahuwah spoke them out life. So the verse 20 says, and Aluah Daba, let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the yam, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the Arats, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the Arat. Verse 27. So Aluah created man in his own image. In the image of Aluah created he, him, male and female. Aluah created. Verse 28. He said, and Aluah barak them. And Aluah barak them. Barak is what they translate to bless. And Aluah barak them. And Aluah daba unto them. Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the Arat, and subdue it, and have dominion over the yam, which the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing that creepeth upon the Arat. Verse 29. He said, then Aluah Daba, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole Arat, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be your food. They will be for you for food. Verse 30 said, and to every beast of the Arat, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the Arat, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. And Aluah saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Look at it now. Yahuwah has created everything. And he said, behold, it was very good. And verse 31 again, he said, and Aluah saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth yom. The sixth yom. This is the reason why Yahuwah said, you have 6 days each week to do all your work. He said, but the Shabbat day, He has created everything, and he saw that it was very, very good. Say, but the Shabbat day is not a day that you will play with. It's not your day. It's not your day. It's the day that Yahuwah has set apart. And you must set it apart also. If you are a chosen one of Yahuwah, you must set that day apart. Yahuwah has created the day, the seventh day, from the beginning of creation. There's some people are not coming out that is a moon, that they are using the moon that Yahuwah created in the fourth day to determine the seventh day that Yahuwah has created the full Arat and the Shamaim, the 6 days. They are not using the 6th day that Yahuwah said in everything was good, very good. They are not using the 6th day. They say the 6th day, Yahuwah created the Shamaim and the Arat in 6 days. Bereshit chapter 2 verse 1 to 3. It says, thus the Shamaim and the Arat and everything in the Arat were finished. And on the 7th Yom, Yahuwah, the Almighty One, ended his work which he had done. And Yahuwah rested in the 7th Yom from all his work which he had done. And Yahuwah barak the 7th Yom. Yahuwah barak the 7th Yom. The way Yahuwah barak the man that he created, he now barak the 7th Yom. There is a baraka. There's a baraka of Yahuwah, of our creator Yahuwah in the 7th Yom, in the 7th day, which is the Shabbat day. Yahuwah baraka is on the Shabbat day. Yes. The baraka of our creator Yahuwah is on the Shabbat day. You must know this today. The baraka of Yahuwah, our Yahuwah, is on the Shabbat day. That is why Ashatan is trying to deprive you on that baraka. That when you walk your 6 days, or your 6 Yom, every 6 Yom, then you come on the Shabbat Yom, then you will not receive Yahuwah baraka, that he has baraka, that the baraka that Yahuwah has put in that day for us. The only thing that you see that the evil system of this world could not change is the 7-day week. Is the week of the 7th day. Is the 7-day week that they could not change. Nobody can change it. It's not there. No evil system, no demon, no Ashatan. Ashatan cannot change it. He would have changed it. The 7-day week, even in their evil system calendar month, Gregorian calendar month that they are doing today, the 7th day, nobody can change it. All over the world today, they tried it. They tried to put it 10 days. They tried to put it 8 days, but they could not change it because Yahuwah did not give them that permission. Never. And Yahuwah did not give anybody the permission to change the Sabbath day from the weekly Shabbat, the 7th day of the week. They now moved it to the venerable day of their son. We're going to get there. He said, then Yahuwah barak the 7th Yom and Qadash it and set it apart. Yahuwah barak the 7th Yom and he set it apart. Then Yahuwah barak the 7th Yom and Qadash it, because it's Yahuwah rest, because in it Yahuwah rested from all his work which Yahuwah had created and made. Because in it Yahuwah rested from all his work which Yahuwah have created and made in the 6th day, that everything was good. That everything was good. That everything was very good. And Yahuwah saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 6th Yom. Yeshayahu chapter 66 verse 23. He said, all humanity will come to worship me from Shabbat to Shabbat and from new moon to new moon. So it's a separate thing here. It's a separate thing. From Shabbat to another, from one Shabbat to another Shabbat, and from one new moon to another new moon. New moon is another month, a brand new month. Then Shabbat is the 7th day of the week. As you finish your ordinary work on the 6 days, you have six days each week to do your ordinary work. Say, but the Shabbat day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah, your Yahuwah. That's the day that Yahuwah has barak. So this very part that people are using in deceiving themselves to deceive people, that is from one month, from one moon to another moon. Their Shabbat will be jumping from different day to different day. The 7th day is forever, is eternity. You cannot change it. This is after Yahuwah has destroyed this Shamayin and this Arat. Is the new Shamayin and the new Arat. Yahuwah now told us that all humanity will come in. This Arat has passed away, and this Shamayin that you are seeing today, this one you call heaven today, has passed away. Then this is a prophecy for the brand new Shamayin and the brand new Arat, with the set apart ones that will live at that brand new Shamayin and the brand new Arat. This is what will happen to all of us at that time. He said all humanity will come to worship me from Shabbat to Shabbat, and from new moon to new moon, says Yahuwah. It's not from one moon, every new moon you will not count another 7 days. No, from Shabbat from the beginning of creation, nobody can temper it. No human being, evil spirit cannot temper it. No demon can temper it. Nobody can temper that Shabbat, that the creation pattern that Yahweh has created, from the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, the sixth day, and the seventh day. And after the 7 days, there's a recycling from the beginning. The creation has been that way, that nobody can temper that. No moon can change it. No moon can change the cycle of the 7 days. No moon. The moon that was created on the 4th day that will come and change the full cycle of the whole week. No. The moon was created the 4th day of the week, of the beginning of creation. The moon was not even created the 1st day. It was not created the 2nd day. The moon was not created the 3rd day. The moon was created the 4th day to give us sign of how now we have finished a new month and we have come to another new month for sign and season. The sun is for dividing of days. For you to know that the day has ended. As the sun set, that day has ended and a brand new day has started. That is how Yahweh has programmed it. It's the sunset that ends the day. The setting of the sun is the end of the day and is the beginning of a new day. The Ashatan, the evil system of this world, now created their own. That 12 hours, the 12 midnight. In the midnight, the new day has already gone far. It has already gone far in the night. That's when their new day starts. No. Yahweh's time is different. That's why you cannot use the worldly calendar to calculate the Daba of Yahuwah. You cannot use it to calculate Yahuwah's program. No. Never. You must focus on this Daba of Yahuwah that said the evening and the morning. Worship Yahuwah on the day that he has programmed for you to worship him. Worship him on the Shabbat day. Not the day, the venerable day of the sun that people, the first day of the week that they call the venerable day of the sun, the Sunday, today. Every day, Sunday, happy Sunday. Yahuwah forbids you with your Sunday. Yahweh rebuke the Sunday from the root of his cause, from the root of the foundation of the Sunday. Yahweh will uproot it off, and you will know for true that Yahweh is the only Alua for the whole Arat. Yes. The Shabbat is a sign between Yahweh and us. The Shabbat is a sign between Yahweh and us. And the set apart ones. The Shabbat is a sign between Yahweh and his set apart children. Shamut, which they translate to Exodus chapter 31, verse 12 to 17. He says, so Yahweh Daba to Musha. He said, you are to tell the Yasharalim. He said, you are to tell the Yasharalim that surely you are to certainly observe my Shabbat. You are to certainly. It's a certain matter. The Shabbat day is a certain matter, which is the 7th day of every week. There's not 2 Shabbat, it's 1 Shabbat. It's 1 7th day that is in the week. There's not 2. There's 1, it's only 1 that is in the week. Don't go and be doing your things. Even the evil system of the world could not change it. That's why they call it Saturday. Yahweh will punish them with that their evil name that they call the Shabbat day. Will call the evil system, they will know for themselves very soon. It's the 7th day of the week. It's the Shabbat day. That's the only day Yahuwah put his name on. That's the only day that Yahuwah named. The other days are 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and the Shabbat day, which is the 7th day of the week. There's not 2 Shabbats. Let nobody deceive you that one moon will direct you to point you to any Shabbat. Yahusha, when Yahusha was in this Arat, Yahusha observed the Shabbat from week to week. He did not look at the moon. Yahushua did not tell us to go and look at moon. Yahushua, that's our example that we are following, so that we can be at the right hand of Yahuwah, because Yahushua is the direct example that we follow. Yahushua did not tell anybody to go and look at the moon to direct him on the Shabbat. No. Yahushua, the only thing that we saw in the scripture is that Yahushua observed the Shabbat constantly with his Talmudim. His Talmudim is what they translate to disciples. He said, you are to tell the Yasharalim that surely you are to certainly observe my Shabbat, because it's a sign between me and you from generation to generation, so you may know that I am Yahuwah who Qadash you, who set you apart. Verse 14. He said, you are to observe the Shabbat because it's Qadash, it's set apart for you. Whoever profane the Shabbat is settling to die. Indeed, whoever does work on the Shabbat Yom is to be cut off from among his people. He said, work may be done for 6 days, but the 7th day is the Sabbath, is the Shabbat of complete rest, Qadash, which is set apart to Yahuwah. Whoever does work on the Shabbat, Shabbat is certainly to die. Remember this word, certainly to die. That means when you are doing things, you are disobeying Yahuwah constantly, and you know that this is the truth. You are constantly disobeying Yahuwah. Okay, I want to do my Shabbat with the moon, so that I will walk. This one did not matter. Yahuwah said you will be cut off. In this present time that Yahuwah's mercy Yahushua has brought mercy to mankind, the favor that is at work. You must focus in the truth now, walk in the light of the truth, so that you will be free, so that you will not be cut off from the chosen ones of Yahuwah. Verse 16. He said the Yasharalims are to keep the Shabbat and to make the Shabbat observance a perpetual covenant from generation to generation. It's from generation to generation. They passed it down to us here. It's not, they did not just wake up one day and be looking for one moon to direct them on the Shabbat. No. When you focus in the things of this world that blinded us, that's why we are not focusing on the moon that will guide us from month to month, from week to days. Everybody knows their day. From my great grandfather to me, now to my children, they know that a week is 7 days. Let us not deceive ourselves. Don't be deceived. Don't deceive your own self with the new moon, the Shabbat from one Shabbat to another Shabbat, and from one new moon to another new moon. The new moon is separate and the Shabbat is separate. The Shabbat is 7 days a week. Then the month is the cycle of the moon. They are not the same. So that Rabbi Yahuwah. He said the Yasharalims are to keep the Shabbat and to make the Shabbat observance a perpetual covenant from generation to generation. He said it's a sign forever. The Shabbat is a sign forever between the Yashara, between me. Yahuwah is saying the Shabbat is a sign forever between Yahuwah and between me and the Yashara, because Yahuwah made the Shamayim and the Arat in 6 days. But on the 7th day, he rested and was refreshed. On the 7th day, Yahuwah rested and was refreshed. Told Rabbi Yahuwah. Ezekiel chapter 20 verse 19. He said, I am Yahuwah, your Aluah. I told them of old, say, follow my decrees, pay attention to my regulation, and keep my Shabbat days Qadash, for they are a sign to remind you that I am Yahuwah, your Aluah. Let's read where he told them again. He said, the Yasharalim are to keep the Shabbat and to make the Shabbat observant a perpetual covenant from generation to generation. You know, he said it's a sign forever between me and the Yashara, because Yahuwah made the Shamayim and the Arat in 6 days, but on the 7th day Yahuwah rested and was refreshed. This is what he told them then in Shamut, when they just came out from the Mizraim, from their house of bondage. When they just came out from the bondage, Yahuwah told them. Now Yahuwah brought it again as a reminder. He said, I am Yahuwah your Aluah. I told them, follow my decrees and pay attention to my regulations and keep my Shabbat days, Qadash. For they are, verse 20, say, for they are a sign to remind you that I am Yahuwah your Aluah. That I am Yahuwah, your Almighty One. That Yahuwah is your Almighty One. The Shabbat is to make you know that is your obedience to Yahuwah. That Yahuwah is your Almighty One, is your Aluah. That's what he said there. He said, and keep my Shabbat day Qadash, for they are a sign to remind you. A sign to remind you. The Shabbat is a sign to remind you that Yahuwah is your Aluah. He said, but their children too. He said, but their children too rebelled against me. They refused to keep my decrees and follow my regulations, even though obedience would have given them life. Obedience to Yahuwah's Daba, to the Daba that Yahuwah Daba concerning the Shabbat, would have given you more life. He said, even though obedience would have given you life, he said, even though obedience would have given them life, and they also violated my Shabbat days. They violated my Shabbat day, like you are violating the Shabbat days now. You are using moon. You are just deceiving yourself, and I want you to stop that deception. Don't deceive yourself. This life is too short. The Shabbat can never be changed. No human being on this earth can change the Shabbat day. Never. It's not there. Nobody. Yahuwah did not permit anybody to change the Shabbat. From the creation of life, Yahuwah did not permit anybody in this earth to change it. That's why you see that today, the 7-day weekday can never be changed. It's not there. Nobody can change it. Say, but their children too rebelled against me. They refused to keep my decrees and follow my regulations, even though obedience would have given them life, and they also violated my Shabbat days. So again, I threatened to pour out my fury on them in the wilderness. Toda Rabbi Yahuwah. Let us just run through the Shamot. So important. Shamot chapter 16 verse 21 to 23 and verse 26 to 29. Yahuwah is about to teach man the set apart one. When he set them from the land of Mizraim, from the house of bondage, he was not teaching them how to observe his Shabbat days. He said, and this, the people gathered the food morning by morning, each family according to its need. And as the sun became hot, the flake they had not picked up melted and disappeared. He said, on the 6th day, this is it. He said, on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much. On the 6th day, they gathered twice as much. On the 6th day, they gathered twice as much. 4 quarters for each person instead of 2. Then all the leaders of the community came and asked Moshe for an explanation. Why do you say we should gather twice every 6th day of the week? Because on the Shabbat day, there's no work. You cannot see anything on the Shabbat day. And Moshe told the Yasharalim, this is what Yahuwah commanded. Tomorrow will be a day of complete rest, a Qadash Shabbat day set apart for Yahuwah. So bake or boil as much as you want today, and set aside what is left for tomorrow. Verse 26, you may gather the food for 6 days, but the 7th day is the Shabbat. There will be no food on the ground that day. Even when Yahuwah was teaching man how to use their days, on the 7th day there was no food anywhere. He said they should gather twice as much. Twice as much. Let's see it again. He said on the 6 days they gathered twice as much as usual, 4 quarters for each person instead of 2. Then all the leaders of the community came to ask Moshe for explanation. Why should we gather twice as much every 6 days? Why should we gather twice? And Moshe told them, you may gather the food for 6 days, but the 7th day is the Shabbat. For the 7th day is the Shabbat. There will be no food on the ground that day. See, some of the people went out anyway on the 7th day, but they found no food. There's nothing. Yahuwah has programmed it that day is a complete day of rest. That Yom The seventh Yom is a complete Yom of rest. See, some of the people went out on the seventh day, but they found no food. So Yahuwah asked Moshe, how long will these people refuse to obey my commands? How long will these people refuse to obey my commands and instructions? Verse 29. He said, they must realize that the Shabbat is Yahuwah's gift to you. The Shabbat is Yahuwah's gift to you. The Ashata know the importance of the Shabbat. That is why it's distracting people. It took some people to the first day of the week, that is their Sunday. Then the other people, it take them that is the moon. They should be watching the moon. And the moon will be dictating their Shabbat days. When the weekly days, nothing can change the weekdays of the week. Nobody can change the days of the week in this Arat. Even Ashatan cannot change the days of the week. He said they must realize that the Shabbat is Yahuwah's gift to you. That is why it gives you a 2-day supply on the 6th day. That is why Yahuwah gives you a 2-day supply on the 6 days. That's why Yahuwah gives you a 2-day supply on the 6th day. See, they must realize that the Shabbat is Yahuwah's gift to you. That is why Yahuwah He said that is why Yahuwah gives you a 2-day supply on the 6th day. So there will be enough for 2 days. On the Shabbat day, you must each stay in your place. Do not go out to pick up food on the 7th day. Say, do not go out to pick up food on the 7th day. Observe the Shabbat, yes. Don't go out to find food. Marcos chapter 2, verse 27 to 28. He said, and Yahusha said to them, the Shabbat was made for man, and not man for the Shabbat. The Shabbat is a gift, like what Yahuwah told the children of Yasharah. He said they must realize that the Shabbat is Yahuwah's gift to you. It's Yahuwah's gift to you. Then Yahusha is not telling us here now. He said, and the Shabbat, and Yahusha said to them, the Shabbat was made for man, and not man for the Shabbat. Say, therefore, the son of Adam is also the high Kohan of the Shabbat. The high Kohan. Kohan is what they translate to priest. Say, Yahusha now is the high Kohan of the Shabbat. We are all Kohans. The Yahusha is our high Kohan. Like what they call priests. We are all Kohan of Yahuwah. The Yahusha is our high Kohan. Yahusha is the one that gave the final sacrifice to Yahuwah that frees up from all our guilt and sins. He said, Yahusha said to them, the Shabbat was made for man, and not man for the Shabbat. The Shabbat was made for man. The Shabbat was made to barak man. When you observe the Shabbat will barak you. But you don't have anything to do for the Shabbat. If you not observe the Shabbat, it's yourself that you do, because the Shabbat was made for you. Like what Yahuwah said here. He said they must realize that the Shabbat is a gift. That the Shabbat is Yahuwah's gift to you. The Shabbat is Yahuwah's gift for you. The Shabbat and Yahusha said to them, the Shabbat was made for man and not man for the Shabbat. Therefore, the son of Adam is the high Kohan of the Shabbat, which the evil system translate to the Lord of the Shabbat. It's not Lord, it's the high Kohan. It's the high Kohan. It's our priest. It's the priest. The one they call English as priest. Priestlyhood. To the Rabbi Yahuwah. Apparently is the one they translate to Hebrew. Chapter 4, verse 9 to 11 and verse 14 to 16. He said, there remains then a Shabbat rest for the people of Yahuwah. For anyone who enter Yahuwah's rest also rests from their works, just as Yahuwah did from his work. Verse 11. Let us therefore make every effort to enter that rest, so that no one will perish by following their example. He said to follow their example, which is the one that Yahuwah has example from the beginning. those that perish, they are example of disobedience. Let us not be disobedient to the day that Yahweh has programmed for us, the weekly Shabbat, which is the 7th day of the week. The 7th day of the week is 7th day to everybody in this arat, in this whole life. Nobody has changed it, not they. It's 7th day in every country. When your sun has set is your 7th day. Yes. When your sun has set in the 6th day, you have stepped into your 7th day. And that's how it is. In the week, the weekly cycle is even all the pagans, they could not change it. So therefore, since we have a great icon, since we have a great icon who has ascended into Shamaim, Yahushua, the son of Yahuwah, let us hold firmly to the Amunah we profess, which is the translated faith. To the Amunah we profess, for we do not have an icon who is unable to empathize with our weakness, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, and yet did not sin. Yahushua has come to, our icon has come to show us how to live by. He did not sin. He did not sin by not attending, by not observing the Shabbat day. He observed it. Yes, he taught us how to observe it, not to be wicked to other people, not to say because it's the Shabbat day we cannot do good to people. No, but for we to go and do our personal work, that is what is not in the scriptures. You must not do your personal activities. You have 6 days for yourself in every week, but that Shabbat day is the time to be generous, to do the things and to rest in Yahuwah. Say, for we do not have an icon who is unable to empathize with our weakness, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, and yet he did not sin. Verse 16. Let us then approach Yahuwah's throne of favor, which he said, let us then approach Yahuwah's throne of favor with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find favor to help us in our time of need. So when we come on the Shabbat day, let us approach Yahuwah's throne of favor. On the Shabbat day, the throne of favor is open. That's why Ashatan deceived everybody to the first day of the week, which they call Sunday today. It's the Shabbat day that you need. Every other day is your day, but that Shabbat day is the throne of favor is open. Let us then approach it. He said, let us then approach Yahuwah's throne of favor with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find favor to help us in our time of need. I suggest it to everybody, and I refer it to everybody that is watching right now, to go and study Abarim chapter 4 verse 1 to 16. Abarim, which they translate to Hebrews. The book of Abarim chapter 4 verse 1 to 16. Go and study it for yourself and understand what the Shaliach, which they translate to apostle, the Shaliach Shaul, what is said concerning the Shabbat, and you will know and understand. To the Rabbi Yahuwah. Ezekiel chapter 8 verse 16 to 18. He said, then Yahuwah brought me into the inner courts of Yahuwah's temple at the entrance of the sanctuary between the entry room and the bronze altar. There, he said, there were about 25. He said there were about 25 men with their back to the sanctuary of Yahuwah. They were facing east, bowing low to the ground, worshiping the sun. They back Yahuwah's sanctuary, worshiping the sun. That's the Sunday that you are seeing today. It's the venerable day of the sun. They not take it as something that they can see as their own Almighty One, their Alua. You must not take another. Yahuwah will not tolerate your affection to any other mighty one. That's the second commandment. Yahuwah will not tolerate your affection to any other mighty one. Never. He said they were bowing down. And let me read again. He said, then Yahuwah brought me into the sanctuary. This is Ezekiel, which they translate to Ezekiel, that is giving his own accounts. He said, then Yahuwah brought me into the inner court yard of Yahuwah's temple at the entrance to the sanctuary, between the entry room and the bronze altar. There were about 25 men with their back to the sanctuary. They backed the sanctuary. With their back to the sanctuary of Yahuwah. They were facing the east, bowing low to the sun, worshiping the sun. Today the Muslims worship the sun and the moon. They look at where the sun rises. That's where they're facing. They are bowing. They are bowing to the sun. That's what the Muslims do. Then the Christian, they name a full day, the first day of the week that is concerning a man for you to start your work. They name it a day of the sun, the venerable day of the sun, which they call Sunday today. The day of the sun, Sunday today. That is what everybody will not say, happy Sunday, will not tell you happy Sunday. No, look at it here. They were bowing down to the sun. So they were facing the east, bowing low to the sun, to the ground, worshiping the sun. Verse 17. He said, have you seen this, son of man? Yahuwah asked, is it nothing to the people of Yahudah that they commit this detestable sin? You that is focusing on the Sunday today, is detestable in the eyes of Yahuwah. That's why the truth is coming out now. You must focus on the truth and set yourself free from it. He said, have you seen this, son of man? Yahuwah asked, it is nothing to the people of Yashara, to the people of Yahudah, that they commit this detestable sin, leading the whole nation into violence, thumping their noses at me and provoking me to anger. Therefore, verse 18 say, therefore I will respond in fury. I will neither pity nor spare them, and though they cry for mercy, I will not listen. This is what Yahuwah is telling you now. Not by you going to one big auditorium every Sunday, you say you are praying to the Creator with your evil system name that they have programmed for you. They program a day that they worship their son, and they program a name. Those things does not matter to Yahuwah. When you call him any other name, it does. You can't call. Somebody will not call you some other name and you will respond. No, those are not your name. Somebody will not call you a different name and you will respond. No, it's not your name. When you call your name, you will know that it's your name. Your name is your identity. He identifies you. So you cannot call Lord or God or Jesus or Christ and you will feel that the Creator will be listening to you. No, never. The name of the Creator is Yahuwah only, full stop. And it's tied to Yahuwah, which they translate to God. They translate Yahuwah, which is the name of Yahuwah, to the Lord in their system of the word Sunday programming, and they now translate is tied to Yahuwah, to God. That's why they say the Lord your God. No, it's Yahuwah, your Yahuwah, not the Lord your God. The Lord your God is evil. Evil. The Lord your God is evil that will lead you to destruction. But Yahuwah your Yahuwah. When Yahuwah is your Yahuwah, it will lead you to eternal life, because Yahuwah is eternal life itself. To the Rabbi Yahuwah. Yeshayahu, which you translate to Isaiah. Yeshayahu chapter 58 verse 13 to 14. This is how you will enjoy your Shabbat. He said, keep the Shabbat. He's not telling you now. He said, keep the Shabbat day Qadash. Don't pursue your own interest on the Shabbat day, but enjoy the Shabbat and speak of it with delight as Yahuwah's Qadash day. Honor the Shabbat in everything you do on that day, and don't follow your own desire or talk idly. It's not a day for you to follow your own personal desire or be talking idly. No. I recommend this very part to you also. Constantly read this very part that you are reading. This very Yeshayahu 58 verse 13 to 14. He said, keep the Shabbat day Qadash. Don't pursue your own interest on the Shabbat day, but enjoy the Shabbat and keep it and speak of it with delight as Yahuwah's Qadash day. Honor the Shabbat with everything you do on that day, and don't follow your own desire or talk idly. He said, then Yahuwah will be your delight. When you do this, when you don't follow your own desire, or when you not talk idly, talk anyhow, you're like you normally do your normal days, when you focus on Yahuwah on that day, he said, then Yahuwah will be your delight. He said, I, Yahuwah, he said, I will give you the great honor and sanctify you with the inheritance I promised to your ancestor Yaakov. I, Yahuwah, have spoken. Yahuwah have told you how to observe the Shabbat day. And I pray for you today to focus on the day that Yahuwah has programmed. There's no 2 Shabbat. It's only 1 Shabbat in a week. There's no moon Shabbat. Moon Shabbat is deception. They want they put in the evil system that they are telling you that the Sunday is their new Sabbath. The evil system that they are programming their own day. Nothing like that. Yahuwah created the Shamayin and the Arat, which they translate to heaven and earth. Yahuwah created the Shamayin and the Arat in 6 days. And Yahuwah now created the Shabbat day. And Yahuwah barak the Shabbat day and set it apart. And Yahuwah now told us, he said, remember the Shabbat day. Remember this Shabbat day that I created. And you too set it apart for your life. Set it apart from your 6 days. He said, you have 6 days each week to do your ordinary work. He said, but the Shabbat day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah, your Aluah. Is Yahuwah your Aluah? Is Yahuwah your Almighty One? You must know today that Yahuwah is the only Almighty One. And when Yahuwah is the only Almighty One in your life, you must focus on the day that He has programmed, which is the 7th day of the week, not your moon Sabbath. Never. The moon cannot dictate the Sabbath day. Never. The Sabbath day is the 7th day of the week. Yahuwah created the moon on the 4th day of the week. I pray for you today for you to live in the direction of Yahuwah. Don't live by your own sense. Don't live by your own mind. But live by the Daba, which is the word. The Daba of Yahuwah. Live by the Daba of Yahuwah only from this day. And be free. And be free indeed. To the Rabbi Yahuwah and Ba Hasham Yahusha.